You are headed back, Joy, to East Palestine, Ohio. You were there over the summer. We had you on to talk about that. One of the things that is a focal point of this trip, because the calendar turned from 2023 to 2024, and tax season is now approaching. And this headline here: derailment assistance still not tax exempt on the federal level. This is from The Review, which is a local newspaper in East Liverpool, Ohio. With 2023 coming to a close and tax season around the corner, residents impacted by the Norfolk Southern train derailment are confronted with the likelihood that any financial assistance received in the wake of the rail disaster will be considered taxable income at the federal level. Time, they say, is running out as the Federal Disaster Relief Act, or H.R. 5863, which provides tax credit to victims of East Palestine, hurricanes, and wildfires, sits dormant. This article was published in the last week of December. It is now January 11th, but according to Congress.gov, if you look up 5863, that is still in the dormant phase. It has been introduced. It has not passed either chamber, and so there has been no progress on that since the publication of this article. Ashley McCollum, one of many East Palestine residents still displaced by the derailment, said taxing assistance would only add to the cumbersome weight those affected by rail disaster have been carrying since the train went off the tracks on February 3rd. Quote, those who are relocated have still been paying mortgages and utilities. With the increase of home selling, property taxes have almost doubled for most. This is the highest tax increase that I have ever witnessed in the town of East Palestine over the past 8 years, she said. This is just one instance of penalties we must endure from the derailment. Another would be being taxed for relocation given to many families for temporary relocation by the railroad. The village of East Palestine and the state of Ohio have already taken measures to ensure any derailment assistance is non-taxable on the state and local level. Ohio made the first move in July when State Representative Monica Robb Blasdell secured a deduction for taxpayers impacted by the East Palestine derailment from their state income tax and rail safety measures. Robb Blasdell pushed for these amendments into the state budget, which was approved by the General Assembly and signed into law in July. East Palestine followed suit in September by passing an ordinance to make sure no one is required to pay village income taxes on any payments they receive for derailment-related expenses or losses. McCollum also said that many residents were not informed that assistance would be taxable. Others, she said, felt they had no other choice but to sign tax documents in order to receive help many were desperate to get. Quote, with many attempts to get a solid answer on if we would be taxed for relocation of residents, we were never given anything in writing. Many of us took our question to our community on taxes since we were told we must sign a 1099 or not have any help, McCollum said. Some taxation agents tried to explain it was a way to file Norfolk Southern claims for insurance purposes. From the very beginning, we questioned this because, like relocation guidelines, we never had clear indications of what would happen with taxes. Here we are now, knowing taxes for relocation have been waived at a state level, but not federal, and anyone who's ever paid taxes knows, and that's everyone, because we are a very law-abiding audience here at the DueDissidence podcast. We would never skirt taxes. No, not us. You know that obviously the federal taxes amount to a lot more money almost always than the state and local taxes. So one of the things that you're going to be focusing on in this trip, I assume, is getting some answers on that. Do you know, did that come up over the summer? I assume that might not have been front of mind because it's not tax season over the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in contact with dozens of residents, including Ashley. She's someone I know, and
so you know her, who was quoted in that piece. Okay.
Oh yeah. I've helped her with some mutual aid of the money I've raised. So yes, we know each other, and Ashley has an 8-year-old son and has been living in a hotel 1 year.
Wow.
February 3rd with a little boy. She's one of a number. It's not like they give them houses, it's not like they're, living, in a comfortable place. Like they're literally living in hotels, and such like that. And, the thing I also want people to understand is this is not, Norfolk Southern has never given them anything. It is a fight, tooth and nail, every single day. Can you reimburse me for this? Most of the time they say no. Most of the time they're told these people only want free stuff. Things like that. They're humiliated. They're talked about. They're, just discarded. And, to have to go through that process, is very, it just exacerbates their PTSD. This is something that they just found out for sure, about the taxes, I would say within the past 2 weeks. So this is something none of them knew. So you take people, and also it's good to remind people that it's not just East Palestine. People have been affected. It's on the border of Pennsylvania, and people have been affected in Pennsylvania. Also, West Virginia, like this, there's no bubble around, the water, the soil, the air. This has, affected so many people for miles and miles. So now when you're on the Pennsylvania border, you automatically get nothing. That's nothing. And only people within a 1 mile radius even have the possibility of getting help. I met someone who's 1.1 miles away who got no help.
Wow.
So when they say 1 mile, it is, and as I've been there several times, and as someone who's been there, when I say it's a rural town, like it is rural.
Oh,
like,
yeah, we saw on the news. Yeah, there was all that footage when this happened. Yep.
So it's like, you're taking a town that the median income before this was $28,000, and you're taking away all their jobs. All the places have closed, and to one of my girlfriends who lives there, she works for Amazon delivery, right? There's Amazons everywhere, right? Well, the nearest one, and I know Amazon, but beside the point, the nearest one she would have to go to continue working for them is 45 minutes away. They're unemployed. They have no income. They are being forced to have credit cards and such. One of my friends in East Palestine has charged over $10,000 just in hotel stays.
Wow.
It's insanity. And, and if she did get forgiven for those, she's got to pay tax on it. So these people are penalized in every way. They don't have health care. They don't even have a clinic with specialists. They don't have, some people are still bathing in bottled water. They're not even giving them bottled water or anything. The only thing Norfolk Southern has given them is they sent them all $10 coupons in the mail for local
I heard about that.
You're kidding me.
Oh, and they gave kids coloring books when 45,000 fish washed up from the creek. They gave kids coloring books saying that fish die of asthma.
Wow.
No lie.
Wow.
I have pictures of it on my Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that so educational? They are they're currently building a $25 million park on top of contaminated land, no less. And so the question is, why can't Norfolk give the $25 million to the people?
Malignant mole land.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like, and then they're like, oh, we're going to do something for the community. We're going to have fireworks for 4th of July. Cool. It triggered everyone's PTSD who heard the derailment. Then they got this genius idea. They're like, okay, what we're going to do is start hauling the waste and the contaminated water out of the town. And last week, a tractor trailer bringing it derailed and just completely crashed, and it went everywhere. So it's like they're doing things that make no sense, and they do not talk to the community. So between local, state, federal, these people have been absolutely left behind. And if it's not for people doing mutual aid, they will have nothing.
Please clap.